What's up, Broncos Country? Hold on, did you think you knew everything about the Denver Broncos playoffs 2025? Like that this Broncos team was just another underdog trying their luck? Dead wrong. What nobody's telling you is that the Broncos just received a hidden reinforcement that's going to make other AFC franchises shake to their core. And it's not a player. It's not a multi-million-dollar contract. It's something way more powerful than that. Sean Payton wasn't bluffing when he said at the beginning of the season that this was one of the 6 or 7 teams he's coached with real potential to reach the Super Bowl. Everyone laughed. ESPN analysts mocked him. The national media made jokes. But now? Nobody's laughing, and everyone's agreeing with him, kind of embarrassed. Want to know what the secret reinforcement is that's making Denver Broncos News 2025 blow up on social media? Stick with me until the end, because the detail I'm going to reveal about Sean Payton and Bo Nix's strategy is going to completely change how you see this team. Let's go. If you're a Broncos fanatic like me, you already know this season has been an emotional roller coaster we haven't experienced since 2015. But there's one crucial detail that separates 2025 from any other recent season: the mindset. Check out this data that just came out from PFF. You know, Pro Football Focus, right? Those guys who analyze every snap, every play, every movement with an algorithm so complex it seems like NASA stuff. Well then, according to their simulations, the Denver Broncos now have a 17% chance of winning the Super Bowl. 17%. That might not seem like much, but wait, that's the highest percentage of any team in the entire NFL. The same nerds at PFF accurately predicted last year that the Chiefs would win the Super Bowl when the playoffs started. And guess what? They nailed it. But there's more. In 30% of simulations, the Broncos make it to the Super Bowl. 30%. That's not luck, my friend. That's trend. That's inevitability knocking at the door. And look, it's not just data analysts locked in their mom's basement making these predictions. It's real NFL players recognizing the threat. Did you see that post-game moment against the Kansas City Chiefs on Christmas night? Travis Kelce, the guy who's won 3 Super Bowl rings, approached Bo Nix with the NFL mic, catching everything, and said, "Bo, you're one hell of a competitor. I love playing against you. Go out there and win yourself a Super Bowl." Think about that for a second. Travis Kelce doesn't say that to Justin Herbert, doesn't say that to Josh Allen, doesn't say that to anybody. But he said it to Bo Nix. That's not casual locker room talk, no. It's recognition. It's a veteran champion looking into the eyes of a second-year quarterback and seeing the future of the league. The difference between this team and the Broncos of recent seasons? It's the culture that Sean Payton implemented. Let me tell you a story that Emmanuel Sanders told on Get Up. Man, the guy played with Sean Payton in New Orleans and then here in Denver. He explained the brutal difference between how Payton is handling winning the AFC West division and how other coaches like Mike Vrabel are celebrating. The Broncos won the AFC West for the first time in a decade. A whole decade, man. But did you see any party? Any champagne? Any photos with division champion shirts? Nothing. Zero. Zilch. They handed out those ugly AFC West champions hats and shirts in the middle of the night, like an NFL protocol obligation. But it wasn't a celebration. Mission not accomplished. Work not finished. Meanwhile, Mike Vrabel and the Patriots are posing for photos with their fancy new shirts because, man, that's probably the best that's going to happen to them this year. It's settlement. It's conformity. It's we got as far as we could. Payton, the guy has his eye on the big prize. And Sanders said at the end of the segment that he 100% agrees with this approach because that's how champion teams think. You don't celebrate milestones. You expect milestones. You only celebrate when that Lombardi trophy is shining in Mile High. And here's where things get insane, because this mission not accomplished mindset is generating concrete results on the field that are leaving the entire AFC in panic. But before I show you the numbers that prove this, answer me. Do you really believe this Broncos team can go all the way? Comment Broncos Country below if you're in on this journey. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, What the hell are you waiting for? Hit that button because there's a lot of exclusive information coming about the Denver Broncos Draft 2025 and the secret strategy for the playoffs. All right, now let's talk data because numbers don't lie, and the Denver Broncos 2025 season numbers are scary for any opponent. First, red zone. You know what the red zone is, right? Those final 20 yards before the end zone where the field gets tight, plays get limited, and it separates good teams from mediocre teams. Recent advanced analysis showed that the Broncos are the best team in the entire AFC when it comes to scoring touchdowns in red zone situations. 88%. 88% of the time the Broncos get to the red zone, they leave with 6 points, not 3. Not a field goal. Touchdown. Look at the difference. The next best playoff qualified team, Buffalo Bills with 84%, then Jacksonville Jaguars with 83%. The Broncos are 4 percentage points ahead. And look, between weeks 11 and 17, we faced some of the toughest defenses in the league. So don't come at me with, oh, but strength of schedule. We dominated real defenses. You know what that means? It means when the game is 20-17 with 2.5 minutes left, and Bo Nix gets the team to the opponent's 15-yard line, you can trust we're coming out of there with a touchdown. We're not going to hand the ball to the kicker and cross our fingers. We're going to end the game. And speaking of Bo Nix, man, this kid is rewriting the Broncos record books and hasn't even completed 2 years in the league yet. Check out these numbers. If Nix wins Sunday's game against the Chargers, and he will, trust me, he'll be the only quarterback in Denver Broncos history to start all games in a season and win 14 games. Only one. We've had quarterbacks who reached 14 wins, but they were injured and missed games. Peyton Manning, John Elway, absolute legends, but none did it starting from scratch to 14 wins. And there's more. If Bo Nix takes less than 4 sacks in Sunday's game, and considering the Chargers are releasing players and resting starters, I bet he won't take even 1 sack. He enters the top 10 seasons with fewest sacks in Broncos history. That's protection. That's the offensive line working. That's Quinn Miners and company saying, nobody's getting through, brother. Oh, and let me tell you about another criminally underestimated statistic. Third downs. Third down is that moment where either you convert and continue the drive, or you give the ball to the opponent and hope the defense holds. It's the most important down in football, period. Bo Nix is the second best quarterback in the entire NFL when it comes to getting a first down or touchdown on third downs. Second. Only loses to one guy. And look, you've got people like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson in the league. But Bo Nix, in his second year of his career, is already among the elite in high-pressure situations. You know what that creates? Confidence. When 3rd and 7 shows up on the scoreboard, the crowd at Mile High doesn't get nervous. We stand up. Because we know this kid's going to find a way to convert. Now let's talk about something that needs to improve in the playoffs. Turnovers. The Broncos have one of the best defenses in football. Vance Joseph is doing an absurd job coordinating this unit. Pat Surtain, too, is practically an all-pro cornerback every Sunday. Nick Bonito is shredding quarterbacks like he's the Terminator. But we have a negative turnover margin of 5 on the season. -5. That means we gave the ball to the opponent 5 times more than we took it from them. And that's a big problem, especially when you compare it to teams like the Bills and Ravens, who have high positive margins. But here's the part that makes me optimistic. Sean Payton said in the last press conference that this needs to change for the playoffs. He knows. The team knows. And look, defensive turnovers are kind of fortuitous, right? Like you remember 2 years ago when Vance Joseph was coaching this defense in Payton's first year with Russell Wilson. We had that miraculous winning streak. We won in Buffalo. We were getting piles of turnovers and our margin was way up. But everyone knew it was like fool's gold, monopoly money. We knew that team wasn't going far in the playoffs. Luck doesn't last forever. But you know what karma is in football? Eventually things balance out. If you never get turnovers, eventually you're going to start getting piles of them. And I genuinely believe that when the playoffs come, this Broncos defense is going to start forcing mistakes. Fumble, interception, fumble, recovery, all at the same time. It's going to be a rain of turnovers at the right moment. And that's exactly why the Las Vegas sportsbooks, which, let's be honest, aren't fools and know exactly what they're doing, are placing the Broncos as favorites for the title. But there's one factor nobody's talking about that could be the ultimate difference maker in the playoffs. I'm going to tell you about that right now, but first, do you think the Broncos are going to surprise everyone and make it to the Super Bowl? Leave your prediction in the comments. And share this video with that friend who still doubts the Broncos so they can see the truth. Here's where things get real, people. Because everyone keeps talking about statistics, about matchups, about who has the best defense or best offense. But there's one factor that simply can't be replicated, and that the Broncos have in spades: the home field advantage at Mile High. It's not just altitude, okay? It's not just the fact that teams flying from sea level to 5,280 feet of altitude get here and literally can't breathe. It's that too, of course. But it's much more. It's the crowd. It's Broncos Country. It's that orange mass screaming, vibrating, making noise so absurd that Adam Troutman and several players said the game against Jacksonville was the loudest they'd ever heard in an outdoor stadium. And that wasn't in the playoffs. That was a regular season game. Now imagine that in the playoffs. Imagine 70,000 people dressed in orange, screaming at the top of their lungs with everything on the line. The opposing quarterback can't even hear their own plays being called. False starts happen. Delays of game happen. Communication errors happen. And when the other team makes mistakes, we capitalize. Look at the AFC playoff bracket and tell me, who really scares you? Josh Allen and the Bills? Okay, he's got talent. But the guy has never won a playoff game on the road. Never. And you think that's going to start now? At Mile High, with altitude, with a crazy crowd, with a defense that's dominating? Forget it. And last week, the Bills played at home against the Eagles, and it was a mediocre performance. Lost badly. The Eagles had 2 passing yards in the second half and still won. Is that a complete team? Not to me. And the other side of the bracket? New England Patriots. Man, they're depending on Stephon Diggs and Drake May for the future, but Diggs is probably going to get suspended because of some serious allegations that I won't even get into details here. But it's serious. It's concerning. It's something hovering over the entire organization. How do you play a playoff game knowing you have this kind of giant distraction hanging around the locker room? You can't. Meanwhile, the Broncos, focused, united, no drama. Sean Payton doesn't tolerate distraction. If you're not 100% committed, you're out. Simple as that. And look, there are people trying to discredit the Broncos with that old talk about strength of schedule. Like, oh, you had the easiest schedule in the AFC, so the wins don't count as much. Come on, seriously? We beat the Kansas City Chiefs twice. The first time, they were still good. They were the 3rd best team in the NFL power rankings. We beat the Philadelphia Eagles on the road when they were flying. We beat the Texans in Houston, which, by the way, is one of the toughest places to win in the league. We beat the Giants without a bye week before. These are legitimate wins, quality wins, and the national media wants to pretend they don't matter, that it's just schedule luck? Please. Kurt Warner, Seahawks legend, Hall of Famer, came out publicly to talk exactly about this. He said that using strength of schedule to discredit a phenomenal season or an MVP candidate, in this case, Bo Nix, who should absolutely be in the Rookie of the Year conversation for the 2nd year in a row, which is crazy, is something you do at your own risk. Because when the playoffs come, it doesn't matter who you faced in the regular season. What matters is who you are. What matters is your character. What matters is if you can get up when you're getting beat and turn the game around. And this Broncos team? They have 5 fourth-quarter comebacks this year. 5 6-game winning drives. Bo Nix is clutch. He's ice cold under pressure. When the game's on the line, you want the ball in his hands. Period. And there's a detail I need to mention because nobody's talking about it. R.J. Harvey. This rookie running back we picked in the draft that the media mocked because, oh, he's 24 years old. He's too old. Ridiculous, right? The kid is smart. He understands the game at a level that running backs with 3-4 years in the league don't understand. There's a goal line play against the Chiefs where he was lined up on the sideline, and in 90% of cases, the running back runs to the corner like they should. But Harvey cut inside because he saw that Bo Nix was going to escape the pressure and needed a quick pass option. Result? Touchdown. Game won. That kind of football IQ can't be taught. Either you have it or you don't. And Harvey has it. He was named Yahoo Fantasy Rookie of the Year and will probably be considered for Offensive Rookie of the Year when they announce the official awards, along with Bo Nix, two guys that everyone doubted and who are proving everyone wrong. So tell me, after all this, do you still think the Broncos are underdogs? Do you still believe the national media narrative that wants to pretend this team isn't legit? Because I'm going to tell you something. The Las Vegas sports books know what's going to happen. PFF knows what's going to happen. The NFL players themselves know what's going to happen. Travis Kelce said it. Emmanuel Sanders said it. The serious analysts are saying it. The Denver Broncos are coming. And it's not a bluff. It's the best team at converting in the red zone. It's the best team with home field advantage. It's a second-year quarterback rewriting record books. It's a dominant defense coordinated by Vance Joseph. It's Sean Payton, one of the greatest coaches in NFL history, with laser focus on the Super Bowl. The Broncos are going to enter the playoffs with a champion mindset. They're not going to celebrate division wins. They're not going to celebrate wild card. They're not going to celebrate anything until that Lombardi trophy is shining in the middle of Empower Field at Mile High. And if you're still doubting, man, I can only tell you one thing. Watch. Watch this team in the playoffs. See the altitude destroy opponents. See Bo Nix work miracles on third downs. See Pat Surtain 2 lockdown Pro Bowl receivers. See this defensive line with Zach Allen and John Franklin Myers demolish offensive lines. And when it's all over, when the orange and blue confetti is falling from the sky and Broncos Country has exhausted their vocal cords from screaming so much, you're going to remember this video. You're going to remember that I warned you. So do this. If you believe in this team, if you believe in the Broncos, if you are Broncos Country, leave a like now. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any playoff analysis. Comment Super Bowl LX below so we can create that positive energy. And share this video with every Broncos fan you know, because this information needs to reach everyone. The Denver Broncos are really good, and the whole world is going to find that out in the coming days. Until the next video. Broncos Country, let's ride.